All right, is this thing working? Is this thing working? Hello. Good evening and welcome to Fecal Matters, a podcast by JLock TV. I am your host, of course, JLock. My co-host here, Skittles, he's having some technical difficulties this evening. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about that with his power going out. He's having a jolly old time where he's at. Yeah. So,
Massive thunderstorm.
massive fucking thunderstorm knocking his power out. Not much you can do about that. And of course, their power systems have always been kind of wonky. God, I remember a couple years ago when we froze out. Remember, we were living with you, and and all the fucking pipes froze out and everything because Texas just isn't ready for that kind of winter.
Yeah. And for two
Um,
weeks, we had to scoop snow off the lawn
God, I
just so we could have
remember,
water.
dude, I remember melting snow just so we could flush fucking toilets. Like, nobody asked for this, Texas. Like, get your shit together, update your infrastructure. There's no fucking reason we should be having issues with toilets in Texas. Like,
We
Texas.
want nuclear.
Well, not just nuclear, right? But this is DFW, one of the biggest metroplexes in the entire country. You would think that they would think, yeah, it might be time to use all that money that we've built up to, fix the city, update the city to modern standards. But anyways, digressing slightly here. Welcome to Fecal Matters, a podcast where we talk about dumb shit, day-to-day life, dating, politics, and whatever the hell else just comes up. You can consider us your virtual friends sitting here in the corner having a conversation with you over a few drinks for those of us that partake, but one of us is a fucking Mormon, so he's not drinking with me.
I will
Yes.
drink Powerade Zero
So, as you
just for
guys
you.
know, for those of you that have been frequent of this channel before, I am JLock. I was an industry chef for years. I've moved on right now to high level production. So, right now I'm working at Lamb West and I quite literally make French fries for a living. And that's paying more than any chefing job I've ever had. Skittles, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Scott, aka Skittles. I am a professional wiener slinger. I set up on the street corner. I sell my wiener to anybody that's willing to put it in their mouth. So,
You might want to
and
clarify what that means when you say wiener slinger because, like, this
oh.
may not be those kid friendly podcasts, but we definitely aren't trying to encourage the level of prostitution you just suggested.
Well, considering I have a T-shirt that literally says "Put my wiener in your mouth," and I've actually sold it, um, yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it.
You're
Yeah, but
sticking
I
with you sell your wiener on the corner. That's what you want the public to
absolutely,
know about you.
yep,
I mean,
I sell wieners.
I can't help if that's what you want to be known for is your love of selling wieners, but that's what you do. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why you're making more money selling wieners than you did as a prospective accountant?
Because believe it or not, people, especially drunk people, like food. So I happily oblige them by selling wieners to them and giving them the hottest wiener in Dallas Fort Worth.
The
So
hottest wiener.
yeah,
How are you keeping your wieners
hottest
hot?
wiener.
How are you keeping those hot?
Well, first I grill them and I have it over a steam table.
Oh, okay. Doesn't
Yeah,
that wouldn't that kind of defeat the purpose of the grill?
it
But
actually doesn't. It
maybe
actually helps like keep all the flavor in.
really.
There's yeah.
Hmm.
So it's a really interesting like it's very strange how it all works because like you would think it wouldn't work that way,
Yeah, I would think
but
I'd have
it
a
does.
soggy wiener at that point, not just a hot one.
It's
Hot
not soggy.
soggy
I
wiener.
promise. I promise it's not soggy. It's probably soggy after I dump a bunch of chili and sauerkraut on it,
Now,
which
now
people
tell
have
me this:
put together.
tell me you've banned ketchup at the Coney Corner. Tell me you've banned ketchup because
No, I
anybody that's
have
a follower of
ketchup.
this channel knows how much I fucking hate ketchup.
No, I have ketchup. There's plenty of people that love ketchup.
God, why? Those are the kind of
I
people I
also have
just can't get
mayonnaise.
behind. Like I don't understand. I don't understand liking ketchup. It's gross. It's disgusting. Mayonnaise I can get behind. Nothing like some beaten egg white and oil to get my rocks hard.
Look,
Uh,
as much as I don't like ketchup as a hot dog topping, the
right.
thing that I hate most of all is when people get my everything dog, which has literally every topping that I have available on the
Okay.
cart
Yeah.
thrown on one dog.
Uh huh. What are you charging for
But
that? Like
granted, I charge
12,
them 20
13?
bucks for it.
Oh, 20? Jesus Christ. That's crazy people actually buying that for 20 bucks. I couldn't imagine
Yes,
buying one piece of meat for $20. But then again, like I guess the
it's
world
a
has
meal.
changed, you know. Oh, it comes with
It
oh,
like it's.
okay. Oh, okay. It comes with chips and a drink at
I mean,
least.
well, no, it doesn't come with chips and
Then how is it
drink.
a meal?
No,
Oh, oh,
like
you're
one hot dog is enough to fill you up.
oh, okay. You broke up a little bit there. I get what you're saying though. So how is it? How are you enjoying living in the great state of Texas? DFW, of course.
Honestly, I loathe the summers, but I love the rights. That's what keeps me here.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's I also just like being able to own guns and be able to
yeah,
carry my guns around whenever I want, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's one of the nice things.
yeah. I could definitely understand
Um,
that.
Cheap gas. I think right now it's like $2.80
Yeah.
a gallon. So
Okay.
yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I could see understand. I could definitely get behind that.
Low housing
Um,
costs.
Low housing costs. You own the house, bro. You own
I
the
know.
house. That's not low housing
I
costs.
bought a 5 bedroom, 3 bathroom, half-acre land for 160.
That's fair. That's fair. Because we've looked at some houses out here. There's houses that have the equivalent cost out here that are literally just a plot of grass with a one bedroom home on it. And the one bedroom home is as small as an average apartment. So it wasn't yeah, we haven't bought a house yet. Let's just put it that way. Where we are in the looking part of it so much as that is gone. So, yeah. So you tried your hand at streaming. I know this is technically you trying your hand at streaming because really I'm handling a lot of the technical side of all of this, but you tried your hand at streaming. Why don't you tell me why you didn't actually continue on with that?
Honestly, I'm gonna be frankly honest. I was not consistent. I did not keep up with it, and I didn't want to do all the work that was required to be a streamer.
Yeah.
So I play games for the fun of it. I don't, and I play when I want to play. I don't want to be on a set schedule. Um, so yeah, no, I play games whenever I want, however I want, and sometimes it's me shirtless or me in just underwear or me eating a bunch of food while I'm playing. You know,
Generally a bowl of Oreos doused in milk.
yeah, nobody can tell me that I can't do that.
Generally a bowl of Oreos doused in milk. This motherfucker will literally take 8 to 10 Oreos and just put them in a bowl and just douse them in milk and just eat them with a
And
spoon like it's cereal. And the
it is
worst part
piddling.
is, I'm only a little mad about it. And it's only because I know this that by the time he gets to the last few cookies, they're soggy. Like they're not even good anymore. They're not like soaked in milk, they're just drenched in death. Like it's not
Okay,
even
it's
good
mostly just
anymore.
like the biggest experience is like having the cream filling with the milk. That's like that is the peak
That's
of
the
it.
peak for you.
That's the peak for of it.
Ugh,
That's a peak enjoyment experience right there.
bro, that's
Also, I don't
terrible.
know if you've ever considered doing it with Nutter Butters. It's actually pretty good too.
Okay, but listen, that's because peanut butter and milk are literally the best fucking friends. Like the
Yeah.
best fucking friends.
I did it. I think I did it once with chocolate milk. So Nutter Butters and chocolate milk. Pretty
Okay.
solid.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like Oreos.
Like a spoonful of Nutella to finish, or what?
Not Oreos. Reese's. It's like Reese's.
Just saying, a spoonful of Nutella to finish sounds pretty fucking bomb to me. So,
Absolutely.
kind of building on what you were saying though about why streaming was less desirable than you thought it would be, it's kind of something I've been running into. Is not only since I missed a year of streaming, which my audience dwindled because of that, realistically. Um, but not only just because I missed a year of streaming, but because like in that process, like a really good example is recently I've been streaming Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is this newer game. You can do all kinds of crazy shit in it. It's really open-ended format. It's very true to the D&D play style that it's intending to emulate, right down to the races and classes all being just straight ripped from the books. And the problem I've had is that I'm so fucking busy these days that I don't actually have time to sit down and stream. And every time I have time to play games, it's not really the same as having time to stream, right? So I'll want to go and sit down and actually play this shit, but I don't have fucking time to turn it on and stream it as well. I don't want to get all my stuff together all the time. I don't want to set myself up just to get started. On top of that, I am the worst at video editing. Like, my streams tend to go for 3 or 4 hours. I don't know how people like watching my streams in the first place when I play video games, because I just can't do it myself. Like, I when if you've never edited a video, going back and editing a video, you're sitting there watching your own dumb ass play games. And there's those moments that everybody really enjoys from your stream that are kind of like cool and clippable, but like other than that, it's like, yeah, it's just a dumbass playing video games on the internet with a few people watching and nobody really taking any serious interest in it. And it was like, I don't enjoy editing this. I think I'm a bad streamer because if I can't even enjoy watching myself stream it, then why am I doing it? And it's why I've kind of decided I want to move away from video game streaming and I kind of want to move into this podcast, which obviously we're now on Fecal Matters, which is my own original IP. And then later on, as this builds up and does a little better, I plan to add a second podcast where I will be calling Unhinged Therapy. Do not steal that. That is now live and recorded. I know if you try to steal that from me. So it'll be called Unhinged Therapy, a podcast where the crazy lead the crazy like the blind leading the blind.
Sounds almost like death therapy.
It's almost like death therapy. Ouch, bro.
Yes.
That sounds bad. Why you gotta make it bad? No, I think of it
That's
as
a What About Bob reference for those of you at home that have never watched
I,
the
I actually
peak
also
Bill Murray films.
I actually also haven't watched What About Bob, so I don't know what that means. But what I'm kind of suggesting with the concept is that a lot of the kind of people who are becoming therapists and psychiatrists these days, it feels like a lot of them are out to make gains and not really do a lot of healing. The longer they can keep you as a client, the more money they make, and it's not so much about how well they are doing as therapists and psychiatrists so much as how much swag they are pulling from being therapists and psychiatrists. And that kind of bothers me because at the end of the day, it's a bunch of people with any amount of wealth making more amount of wealth and at the expense of a client. And I also just sometimes wonder if maybe everything they understand is so textbook that they forget there's a human on the other end of their therapy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, everybody's situation's different. Yes, depression is more or less treated in the same way from one person to the next. But also, what are the things that would help somebody with their depression, right? For me, it's not necessarily always going to be sitting down and having a snuggle. Sometimes I just want to be left alone and play a video game for a few hours, and that's going to help a lot because maybe it's less of the depression and more of the anxiety of day-to-day life that's catching up to me, and I just need to take that proper break, right? But a therapist, oh, you should go out and get more exercise. And yeah, I mean, sure, that'll kind of help. Like, raising your endorphins isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at the end of the day, if you still feel like you're not getting that freedom you need, but therapists will keep on pushing the same textbook over and over and over and over and over again. And I just don't see how that helps anybody. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, well, one thing I've noticed, like, 'cause I suppose I disagree with you here, or maybe you'll disagree. I have no idea. But my personal take on depression is that the best way to cure it is just to find something to do, and whether that's work, but you got to find some degree of purpose in what you're doing,
I agree.
and
Yeah.
doing something will stop you from being depressed. Doing nothing will actually cause you to be more depressed. Staying at home, engaging in cuddle sessions or whatever, that stuff is all well and good, but it needs to be. But when you get tapped out on dopamine, that's when it really just starts to grind you down, and it has a significant diminishing returns,
Right.
and it doesn't really work to help depression at that point. You
Well,
have to get that serotonin going.
Well, and I agree. But that's like when we were living together, what was my big rule in the kitchen that I did not only because it's just better flavor, but like What was my biggest rule in the kitchen? And it,
Don't put the knives in the dishwasher.
motherfucker, you know exactly where I was going with this, and that is not it. You son of a bitch. No
No
microwaves.
cats in the kitchen.
No microwaves. No microwaves.
Yeah,
There's
and then
no.
what did I do?
You put
I
a
went out and I
tiny.
bought a microwave.
You put a tiny ass microwave that was a pain in the ass for anybody to use because I intentionally made you put it as far away from comfortable use as possible, and it helped a lot. It really did. People stopped using the microwave. They started thinking about their food. They started planning their meals better, you know? It's really important to always take the time to think about how you can take better care of yourself throughout the day rather than being focused on, oh, God, it's lunchtime. I should put something in my body because otherwise my body will be sad without anything in it. So I'm going to go take this fucking shitty microwave burrito that I don't even really like eating and microwave it and then eat it because I need food. And not only that, but that microwave burrito, it's not very filling, first of all. Second of all, if you eat three of them, you've eaten enough calories for the entire fucking day. And third of all, it's never as good as just some good grilled veggies and a piece of chicken. Like, you're going to like that grilled veggie and piece of chicken a hell of a lot more than you're ever going to enjoy that shitty little fucking microwave burrito.
Yeah, it's the protein. The more protein you get, the less full you feel. Because like we get carbs all the time. We can easily find carbs, but it's just that people aren't getting enough protein, and that's what causes them to overeat.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, but also just like the
So
accomplishment, right? I mean, you and I are chefs, so for us, it's definitely something we can talk about with extreme length, right? Is that when you truly create something beautiful in the kitchen, something really amazing that you push the level of your ability to be a little bit higher to make just something absolutely flavorful and intense, it's really rewarding, like mentally. It's mentally super rewarding, even when it's not just you eating it, right? Especially even that when you're feeding it to somebody else and you see them reacting to the food that you give them. It's a very rewarding feeling, and it's very like it's a lot of dopamine. It's good, good serotonin while you were working on it, and it's very balancing. It's very effective for assuaging negative feelings because you're having a good time. You're enjoying what you do, and you're doing something that makes you feel like you're accomplishing rather than I threw a microwave burrito in and now I can eat it.
one thing I can say now, having worked as a hot dog cart vendor, is because it really doesn't feel like I'm in the food industry at all. So I
Right,
actually enjoy cooking.
right. Because you're not working for some other bitch.
Yeah, I'm not like
You have creative control.
yeah, I am not just slaving away creating the same old boring salad or French fries or whatever. Like honestly, Cheesecake Factory was probably the most soul-crushing experience I've ever had, working at.
Cheesecake
Massive
Factory,
menu, great food, but
big
like
industry
working there.
cooking. Yeah, big industry cooking, man. Like let's go into it. Like let's get real about it cuz you've done more big industry cooking. I've always been a little bit more selective. I think I've been always been a lot more selective than you about what places I will work. But you've always been willing to work at the IHOPs, at the cheesecake factories, at the
Yeah,
major.
I've done pretty much every
God, you've worked at Olive Garden.
man.
Olive Garden is trash.
Olive Garden is not good.
Like you don't
Um,
you don't know. Even if I didn't work with you as long as I have, I knew Olive Garden was trash, and I still didn't know how trash they were until you worked for them, and were telling me about what the ugly kitchen habits, and it was like, oh my god, really? Canned chicken?
like
They use canned
to
chicken in the
to be
soup?
to be fair, there's some parts of Olive Garden that is like from scratch. Like their chicken gnocchi soup, that's all from scratch.
Right.
So that stuff is good. But there's like yeah, this but it's like the few things that make it good as opposed to the many things that make it bad, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, and I mean,
But
just oh,
but yeah,
and
yeah, I've done
I
corporate
can't.
dining, I've done hospital food, I've done uh, you know, university campus food. I've done a whole slew of things like
Okay, but
fine
admit it.
dining,
But
fast food,
but admit it.
casual fine dining, casual dining. I've been all over the place.
But admit it,
And
outside of stepping out of the industry the way you have, the best places to work have been hospitals. In a fucked up
I'm
ironic way, I think hospitals have always been the best for cooking for me.
working, okay, outside of the pay, working at the Ritz-Carlton and working at an actual fine dining restaurant was amazing.
But you hated
I
working
will
there
say that.
because you couldn't move up.
But yeah, no, I mean, I was getting paid $12 an hour.
Yeah, you couldn't move up, you couldn't make more money. They wouldn't let you try other positions because places like that are, well, it's working, so don't fuck with it.
Yeah, and now I'm making 5, 6 times that much, and I'm selling hot dogs. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, what a
absolutely.
turnaround.
What a change. Turns
You know,
out
I
that
it
having the bottom dollar come out of your pocket makes you more money.
it's it's this very strange experience, like of having an existential crisis of I can't believe I just sold something that cost me so little for so much.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
and
made
that's the
an
thing.
hour's worth of salary in 2 minutes.
That's the thing. Who's going to do that for you, right? And that's the way you've got to look at it too. Is these customers think that it is worth the value to buy your process of food, not processed food, but your process of food, than it is to do the process themselves. To them,
Well, I
they
mean,
are
it's not
achieving the
like they have
value that
the
you've
ability
decided is
there,
worth it.
you know,
Well, it's not even just
crawling
that.
out of the bar.
Well, okay, but hear
I
me
need
out.
some
Hear me
food.
out. Hear me out. When again, I think we can agree I cook as good as you do if I really want to, right? I don't need to
Yeah,
eat at a restaurant ever. You would say the same thing. You don't need to eat at a restaurant ever. There's almost nothing you can go to a restaurant and eat that you could not reproduce as good or better than that restaurant on your own.
absolutely.
And yet, both of us still eat at fine dining establishments. Both of us still eat the occasional fast food burrito that we don't necessarily need to be eating. And
I'm
the
just saying,
reason is
taco
simple.
pasta slaps.
That's what I'm trying to get at, though, is at the end of the day, is it food we could easily reproduce in our own kitchens? Yes. Is it arguable that sometimes it's nice to let someone else do the cooking? Also, yes.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly it. It's hard for you as a person that looks at it and goes, anybody with half a fucking nut could probably reproduce what I'm putting on this cart. It's not hard to find the ingredients. It's not necessarily super hard to produce any of these items if they want to, but they would rather pay for them simply because they don't want to. And that's
Yeah,
where you
there's
and that's where
literally
the
only
markup
two
at
items.
and that's
There
where the
literally only
markup
two
matters.
items on my cart that I have a recipe for.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
those are for sauces,
then
right?
onions. I dice. So diced onions. I have two sauces that I make. Everything else is like in the containers, and it's all recognizable brands. Because if I don't use recognizable brands, people don't want it.
Yep, that is correct. Are you using QP mayo, by the way? Because tell me you're using QP mayo. It's the best shit ever.
I'm not using Kewpie mayo.
Oh, you're using Hellman's, aren't you?
I am using Hellman's.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I
Hellman's
know,
is
what the
good.
hell, man?
Nah, Hellman's is good. Hellman's is good. I just really have gotten a thing for QP. It's super, super nice. Strongly
Although
recommend you try QP.
I do need to figure out how I'm gonna be running burgers, because
Man, I think taking to burgers is a really dangerous step.
oh no, people like my burgers. I've already ran it. People love it.
I know, but it's the maintenance of it, right? Because now you're getting to the point where it's going to be more work and less play.
Yeah.
Because if
Although
you
I do
get a
have some
bunch of
people that
people,
that want to put me into a brick and mortar, so there's
don't do
that.
it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
I
All
don't
you need
know. I don't know, man.
look at the rental on those places and don't do it. It's not worth it.
I know it's like 4,000, like for a low end one, it's like 4 grand a month.
Yeah, like why would you do that? You already have paid your dues. You're already working from a cart that's working great. You're making good money. Don't be one of these types of people that wants to be bigger than you have to be to get anywhere. Like you are already successful in the arena you're in. If anything, add a second cart somewhere down the road. But I would not put yourself in a brick and mortar doing hot dogs. Like there's businesses that do that and they have okay times. What makes I think it helps to help you understand if I do it from this point of view. What makes you good is not necessarily just the product you produce. What makes you good is the convenience of not even having to walk through a door to get it. Nobody has to walk through a door. Nobody's really waiting in line. They just walk up to the cart, buy their hot dog, you dress it out, hand it off, they leave.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
all custom
there's
made right in front of them.
there's no
And that's
sitting at
something. There's something to be
there's
said
no
about that too.
sitting. Yeah, there's no sitting at a table. There's no loud restaurant noise. There's no menu they have to really look at. There's the fucking menu board on the outside of your cart, and that's something that as a consumer, especially if you're out drinking, as a consumer, that's invaluable to not have to actually like overthink
Yeah,
that
you just say, tell me what
experience.
you want on there, and I make it.
And that's what I would encourage you to keep in mind is that the value that you bring is in the convenience of it. Putting up a brick and mortar, it comes with certain formalities that everybody automatically subconsciously assumes when it comes to brick and mortars. I would suggest staying in the cart format because the cart format is, for one, you already know it's working. You're making good money. You already know it's working. And for two, moving into a building comes with a list of inconveniences and not so many conveniences for what you're doing. Plus, I know you. If you have a fucking working kitchen, you're gonna advance your menu and completely lose the whole concept of Coney
Oh
Corner.
no, no, I'd keep it simple. Like one of the like I've worked in places where it's been simple menus and it is delightful to work in it.
Yeah.
It is clean, it is smooth, and it's very, very like simple is beautiful.
Yes. Absolutely.
So, I mean, yes, would I increase the size of the menu? Yes, but only because I have the capacity.
Which is
I no, I
exactly
would have
what
the
I was
increased
just
capacity
saying
to
you
do
need
it.
to
Look, I'm just
avoid.
saying, look, if I could put French fries on a hot dog, I would, because that's something people
Uh
actually want.
okay, but you don't need it. You could
I
put
know
a
I don't need it,
you could put a
but
fryer
I
you
also
nope,
like
nope, nope, no, hear me out. You could put a fryer basket on your cart. There's nothing wrong with that. That's easy. That's an easy addition.
no, it's not.
Yes it
Not for this
is.
cart.
Yes it
I'd have
is.
to get a different cart.
Why?
I would have to get a completely different
Why?
cart because it's not this stuff is not wouldn't work that way.
Does it not have gas?
It's got a propane tank.
There you go. You have enough to create ignition for oil. Simple.
Ah,
You're just mad because I know what I'm talking about. You could weld it on easy. It's just not a good idea. And the reason is simple. It's never going to be easy to clean up. And it's a bunch of
yeah,
extra
no, it won't.
bullshit. And now it's carrying a cooler with French fries and stuff in it so that the French fries will stay fresh. Or having to brine out potatoes every night. Like, again, remember the most important credo here. You're already making good money. Don't don't do like our good friend in Texas did, where he hired the two of us jackasses on and said, "Make my menu classy," because that
Oh,
was a
oh
fucking mistake.
man.
That was a
Yes, it
fucking
was.
mistake. Both of
I
us. I think I tried to fix things. I really do. And I think you were having that moment where I feel like you were living your dream. Like, oh, I'm the head chef of this little place. And he was, man, he fed your ego so bad. I think you're mature enough
he
now to
did.
see exactly
He
how
really
bad.
did. Like great guy. Just oh man.
Like I said, I think you're mature enough now to see just how badly he was feeding your ego. And I walked in and I was like, okay, but why are we doing it this way? And you guys were both like, people like it. I was like, okay, you're five people that are regulars like it, but like, you've got a whole town here that barely cares that you exist. That's not good. What are
It
the things that
didn't
do
help
the
that we were
best?
inside of an antique shop.
It didn't help that we were inside of an antique shop, but what were the things that did best? Chicken salad sandwiches, burgers, especially my barbecue
Pancakes.
bacon burger, pancakes, like, and
Biscuits and gravy.
the only real high dining that did pretty well, well, biscuits and gravy. Those were bomb. Those biscuits were fucking. Mm,
Oh
I
yeah.
still want to steal that
His wife
fucking
made really good
recipe.
biscuits.
Those biscuits were fucking amazing. But like, you know, the things that did really well, the simple stuff. The simple stuff that anybody with no aptitude for cooking could have recognized. And somehow our dumbasses came in there and added salmon to the menu, which ironically, the salmon did well, but what came back every time? The fucking rice.
Salmon. Oh, well,
Well, the salmon came back a few times too, but because we were, because they were old ladies, a lot of them were old ladies and they didn't finish their plates. But we always had a mound of that rice on there that never, barely got fucking touched ever. They'd eat the asparagus, they'd eat like half or most of the salmon, and like 2 bites of rice, and then it was just garbage. And it was like, oh. And I'm sitting there watching. I was like, hey, can we scale this menu back? And between the two of you, it was like, no, people like this. And I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna drown. Fucking drowned. We drowned so bad.
I I like the thing I was really hyped for was the event he was trying to plan
Yeah,
because that was going to make us money, you know, if we did get it done.
right.
But
He had no
yeah,
way of
no.
nailing it. He had no way of nailing it. The poor dude, like he had no industry experience outside of Heroes, and he did a good job with Heroes. I'm never gonna pretend he didn't. Heroes was a good little restaurant. I really did enjoy their food. I really enjoyed making food there. Heroes was solid, and then even that he finally got tired of running. He sold that bitch. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he sold Heroes, which is unfortunate, but it
I
was just one
mean,
of those things where, man, I just remember looking at the number one mistake that was made there was too much ego going around between you and him, and then I got into the mix a little bit where I was like, yeah, but if we just do what I suggest, and oh, you don't. I still remember the words he used. Yeah, yeah, easy for you to fucking say when you don't have any skin in the game, and I'm like, I didn't know how to tell him, but it was like, bro, I'm making $8 an hour. I've got as much skin in this game being successful as any fucking person here. I am broke. I am broke working for you. Uh,
yeah, no.
God,
You
that was such an
honestly, I
experience.
I probably honestly that us working there was simply a product of me because I had the opportunity to actually live in Dallas instead and just immediately start working at the Ritz-Carlton
Ah,
instead
you
of
son of a bitch.
no, like yeah, because I was looking around at different spots and I wanted to do something that was on a small scale that
Yeah,
so I initially started working at Shinjuku Station, and then the executive chef was just an absolute asshat that fired me for asking for a recipe.
yep.
So I was stuck in Cleburne, even though Cleburne's like way so far away from Shinjuku Station. Like I don't know why Cleburne was the only option, but it was. Um, but at that point when I had no job, Courtney and I were already there, and
Yeah,
I'm just like, well, shit, I got to do something.
yeah,
I need to work.
yep. It was all a mess. It was all a mess. And again, I don't really put as much on you. I think at the end of the day, the owner should have recognized the issue. The owner should have recognized the issue before it went off the rails. Because God, we were there for 2 months. I could have, if he'd taken any amount of advice from me, I could have turned that place around. I really believe that. But his thing was, oh, I don't want to be a burger place. Then don't be a burger place. We can have a couple of burgers on the menu and not be a burger joint. But like even the soup I made, that soup was really good. That corn chowder, like corn and potato chowder that I came up with.
Yeah.
And I was telling somebody, I was telling someone just the other day about it. Actually, I was like, that soup helped cut food loss by so much. We were throwing away so much shit, but that soup cut a bunch of cost. And then the rice pudding I was putting into development to provide as like a simple like dessert that we could have parfait cupped up and like served out as desserts. But yeah, there was just little things that I was trying to fix, and I couldn't get anybody to really get on my side. And that's nobody's real fault except for him. It was all Brian's fault at that point.
One thing that I never got behind for any reason, even though it probably is a popular thing, is the chocolate gravy.
The chocolate gravy. Why don't
You
I
remember that?
remember that?
It, they did a chocolate biscuits and gravy.
Really? Why don't I remember that? Was that? Are you sure that was when I was there?
Yes,
Huh.
absolutely. Because you were asking Nadia why the hell that happened. Maybe you just repressed it because it was so traumatic for you.
It was pretty traumatic, I'm guessing, because I made I remember spinning off a really traditional biscuits and gravy that was phenomenal.
Yeah, no, but there was a chocolate gravy,
It was chocolate
and I just
gravy? I
yes.
believe you, but my brain clearly did not want to remember this. Of all the traumatic shit we just talked about with that restaurant, I don't remember chocolate gravy. Not even for a second. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't honestly, I never tried it, but I imagine it was might be okay by my standards, but my standards are actually fairly low as about, with what I'll put in my mouth.
That's true.
So,
That is true.
so I don't know.
Dude, that's
Like
fucking.
I do have the hard
That's.
standard of no American cheese.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, that's pretty special. Fuck. Fuck no. Chocolate. Chocolate fucking gravy? Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
I don't remember it, but I'm sure it was real. I'm sure it was real.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was man,
man.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't
I'm trying to do
remember.
that now.
I don't remember that. I do remember hating Texas though. I still think I hate Texas. I still think I don't like living in Texas more than any other place I've ever lived. I still love Fargo, but I think the big thing for me is I feel like Texans are not friendly. Like as a whole, collectively, people are just they're nice to your face, but God bless if you wanted to hang out with these motherfuckers anywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I think especially Fort Worth. I think Fort Worth has a specific crowd where it's not as welcoming as as Texas claims to be. I think
Right.
in other parts of Texas it is. Like for example, Weatherford. I think Weatherford is actually a very, very nice, welcoming town.
Is it?
Granted, yeah, like just you go to the smaller towns.
Hmm.
Like here's the thing: the smaller towns, they don't have taste buds for shit. But you know what?
Yeah.
Damn it, they're nice.
Yeah, see, I never found that experience, right? Because especially, obviously we had 2020 happen. We had the whole coof pandemic bullshit, whatever, that locked us down for a couple of months, even in Texas. And, even before that, though, it felt like just getting somebody to come and hang out or just go have a nice dinner somewhere or like anything. And, everybody would say the same thing. Oh, I can't do that. Gas just costs too much. It's too far. I know we're friends, but I couldn't possibly go out tonight. Like it's already gonna be late after we get off work. Like I even tried to fucking pull the ace. Like, hey, how about this then? We'll just go right after work. How about that? How about we just go right after? No, no, I gotta go home. I can't. I gotta get a shower. I can't be in my work clothes. Well, you bring a change of clothes. Yeah, but that still doesn't help with the shower part. Like everyone had a fucking excuse, right? It always
Well, to
felt
be
like
fair,
everyone
Charles,
had a
no,
fucking
I think he
excuse.
tried to hang out a lot with Charles, and he always had an excuse.
Okay, Charles actually hung out though. There is a difference there. Like, was he consistent? Fuck no. But
He was as squirrely as you can get.
he would hang out. That's the thing. He would hang out, and we'd have great legendary ass nights with Charles. But all the people I would try to hang out with, I think the two most consistent people besides company we lived with that I actually got to hang out with were definitely Nicolette and Sarah. And but outside of them, like Sarah was a lucky one because we met her through Courtney's work, and then Nicolette I met through my work. And in both scenarios, it was just like those were the only two people that I could actually get to like, hey, let's go and do this. Let's go to the park and have long walks and talk about whatever, and let's go have some drinks at a bar. That'll be fun. But even guys, like you can't get guys to hang out with you in fucking Texas for the most part. I guess in your experience is a little different because you've got the church, and the church tends to be a little bit more open minded. But I just felt like most younger people in my age group in Texas, if they don't have kids, they don't want to hang out either. It
Yeah,
was
it's hard to get people that have active lifestyles to hang out with you.
yeah.
It's
That was
Um,
the thing that killed Texas for me. Is it's like I am an introvert, but I'm not the kind of introvert that doesn't hang out with people. I push myself out there, and if I don't push myself out there, I start feeling really alone and kind of depressed. And it was
well, to
definitely
be
taking
fair,
a
like,
toll on my mental health living there.
like places like Fargo, there's literally nothing else to do outside to drink and
I know, and it was
work.
amazing.
So people are like, "Oh, you want to hang out? I would love to hang out. I'm so bored."
I'm so fucking bored all the time, bro. No, I loved that about Fargo though. It was a blast. Like you were just back there recently, and I'm sure you had a fucking great time.
I did not.
Did you not? Oh shit.
I did not.
Do tell.
Just because
Dish sis.
the people that I would have hung out with were chose not to make themselves available.
No. Really?
So, yes.
Yo, what the fuck? Did they at least give a reason? Or they just suck ass
Um,
at everything?
okay. So I did spend time with one like I went and got dinner with somebody for the one night. So it was like 3 hours I spent with one person. But I was there for 2 days.
Hmm.
One of the days completely by myself the entire day.
Oh no.
Then, I got there, I walked from the airport to my hotel. Granted, great cardio, 4 mile walk, not bad.
Oh no.
But, you know, I mean like 4 miles here, it's like down to the nearest gas station and back.
And they knew you were
So
coming.
yeah, they knew I was coming. They knew a month ahead of time.
Well, what the fuck?
And and then, one of the people uh they weren't gonna be available to hang out and they immediately sent me a snap like 10 minutes later saying, I just got done mowing the lawn. I'm so tired. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna just hang out and do nothing for the next couple hours.
Oh wow.
Like, okay, all right.
That's
I
annoying.
see how it is.
Yeah. That's fucking annoying.
So
That pissed me off.
yes.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it
no,
did piss
I
you
got
off.
well that's all I did. And let's just say that person is not gonna be I'm not gonna be affiliating with that person any longer.
Was that the
Because
guy? That was the guy
yeah, no,
you
I'm not
lived
gonna
with,
do that.
right?
No,
No.
no.
One of
He's somewhere else. I don't know where he is.
the guy that thought he was really good at Zed, but he was actually dog shit.
No, no, no. Yeah, so I know who you're talking about. Tyler, I don't know
Oh,
where Tyler lives in now.
that's
I don't
funny.
know where Tyler lives.
Huh.
Last I
Ah,
heard he was in Colorado.
uh, lots of legal weed. Got it.
Yeah, and he's a huge.
Oh,
We know
I
we know
know.
why some people move to Colorado.
We know. We understand. Oh shit. So speaking of gaming, what are you playing right now? What games are you investing in when you have the free time to invest?
I have been dumping way too much time into chess.
Into chess.
Um,
That's no,
uh,
there's no such
into
thing as dumping too much time into chess.
I beg to differ
Oh Jesus.
because I did not. I went to bed this morning around 8 a.m.
Bro, I was on here working on getting everything ready for this last night. You're telling me that from the time I got off, which would have been about 3 in the morning your time, you just got on chess for the next 5 hours.
Yes, and then
Was that
I
one
went to
game or
bed.
two?
No, many games.
Oh Jesus. Are they that
Many
bad?
like so it is I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like the perfect storm or something. It's like a combination of dopamine as well as like because they Joe Rogan talked about this on his podcast, but chess players they burn about you know in tournament levels they burn about 600 calories per hour
Really?
playing chess.
Just
Yes,
from
but
brain.
that's for tournaments. That's for tournaments.
Right, but just from brain.
Granted this, huh?
Just from brain.
And that's just all from brain power. So you could be
Hmm.
burning like 6,000 calories plus a day
Hmm. That's
just playing
crazy.
chess. But yeah, no, but so I'm just like so I played it's the website's called llichess.com or org or whatever. Um and they got this thing called bullet chess. So you get 1 minute So each side has 1 minute to play. If you run out of time, you lose. Uh, um, so you have to try to beat the other person inside of a minute.
Right.
So these back to back matches that are super high, fast paced matches, it's insanely competitive, and
Hmm.
it's insanely annoying, and it's just this. It's hugely strategic. So
And how is your
yeah, no.
MMR compared to other people?
Um, I think the average MMR is like 1200 or something. I'm sitting in the 1400 range.
That's not
I'm not
bad.
good. I'm not great at chess.
I used to
I'm
be
not
pretty good,
amazing
but
at
I'm.
chess.
That sounds like you're not bad at all. 1400 MMR when
So
you're playing games that you have like a minute to make your move. That's pretty crazy.
yeah, no, I mean if I wanted to play the longer games, I'd probably be making less mistakes because been a lot of times where I've made some really dumb mistakes.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm probably sitting at 900 MMR. I'm probably pretty dog shit at this point. I played some chess not too long ago against a friend, lost 3 games in a row. But I knew I'd lost those 3 games, and he was like, I'd tip my king, and he'd be like, "Why are you doing that?" I was like, "Oh, the game's over." I was like, "I know what your next 3 moves are, and I fucked up last round, anyways." He was like, "Nah." I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not playing at 100% these days." And then
you
I
know,
noticed the
some people
mistake, and
say
then
you
it's
got to think.
over.
Some people say you got to think ahead. I just say you just got to think ahead by one move, and you just got to make the right move
That's
each time.
absolutely fair. That is absolutely fair.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I can kind of see different strategies, and I just kind of have an idea of like, okay, well, I just got to kind of move certain ways, but I'm a big fan of just trading and trading and trading until there's like nothing left. Because I have this strange degree of confidence that I can do better with nothing than the other person can.
Okay.
So I just trade
And
everything.
you just pray, pray, pray that you're going to come back around from it, even if the trades are more valuable to them.
Well,
because I'm guessing you lose to
oh no
baits a
no, I
lot.
make sure that the trades are always I try to make sure that the trades are always more valuable to me. So, I always try to, whenever before I do trade, I try to take one of their pawns with one of the pieces I'm trading.
Hmm.
So and that usually always ends up working for me because at the end if there's nothing left, whoever has more pawns tends to be the winner. I say tends to be because there's a chance that you can still lose even though you have more pawns.
Hmm.
um but I digress. But yeah, no, I've been really into that lately. um not a good situation to be skipping nights of sleep.
Yeah, probably not.
um
No, sleep is pretty significant. God, I'd hate for you to get
um
involved in mine then. If chess is doing that to you, well, my game would fucking destroy your life.
what, Baldur's Gate?
Dude, it is so fucking good. Do you not
Look, I'm just
understand?
saying, like, I've never had this problem with any other video game.
Trust me,
Ne-
dude. I do. You know me. You know me. You know how I fucking am about video games. There's very few games that I can actually spend all day playing. You know that. That's not who I am. I can get on and off of games throughout the day and like enjoy them that way. But for me to actually sit there and invest a full 24-hour period into a game, I just don't quite do that. Not usually. Baldur's Gate is that game. I think I was up till I think I played like 8 hours straight the other day, which for me is a
Oh, those are
lot.
rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up. Come on, let's
Fuck,
go.
fuck out of my face with that nonsense. But like, really, like I don't do that shit. That's not me. But I'm playing this fucking naked drow monk that is punching the shit out of people with his big old gray cock hanging out, and I cannot stop laughing that I'm just pimp slapping people to death. It's addictive, dude. It's addictive. There's so many different strategies. There's a point. There's. I saw a video the other day of something I was like, oh, that's so brilliant. So, goblins, right? Let's talk goblins. Let's talk mythical creatures. Goblins, right? Goblins, what are they obsessed with? Treasure
Oh,
and murder. Exactly. Treasure and murder. So, there's
unless you're
this.
watching Goblin Slayer,
So,
then they're
there.
obsessed with other things too.
And rape. Sorry, I'm not supposed to technically say that on Twitch. My bad. I don't feel that bad about it. It's like, let's be honest, it's cultural now. But Let me
Oh, so you're a man of
let
culture as
me
well, I see.
shut the fuck up, bro. Let me iterate on that point though. Is that there is a chest in the Act One part of the game that if you have a Celyun worshipped or a Celyun worshipped druid or not druid fucking priest, you can pick this chest up because it's only safe for the faithful, and the only way to open it without being a faithful is to like find the prayer for it, which I'm not trying to give spoilers. There's a prayer that you can use to open it. That's not that unusual because it kind of tells you that in its own way. But if you're a Celyun priest, you can pick this enchanted chest up that'll basically blow up anything that touches it if they're not Celyun or use the prayer. And you can take it to the goblin camp and just leave it in a conspicuous, obvious place. And the game is so well programmed that the goblins are greedy. They see a treasure chest. They want to see what's inside the treasure chest. They walk over one at a time and blow up as they try to open the fucking treasure chest. Just one at a time. You just watch them just exploding, and you're just like, I saw that clip. I was like, no fucking way. They programmed the goblins to be greedy as a whole aesthetic, as a whole thing that goblins will do, and you get no penalty for dropping this chest. So you get to kill the whole room of goblins without drawing any ire to your characters, and that's crazy good. Like that's so insane that they can do that. And I'm enamored. I'm enamored with the creativity of that game. I'm enamored with how flexible the play styles are. I'm enamored with the fact that I actually feel like on my main character right now, if I really wanted to, I could drop the healing priest for my party and I would probably be fine. There's enough ways around needing extra health from a healer that I could probably get away with it. It is funny because they're pretty damn useful. It's pretty nice being able to AoE heal your whole team 20 hit points out of nowhere. But it's reaching a point in the game where I don't know that I need to. My characters are strong. My monk one shots half the damn things. He can do 70 something damage in one turn, which is crazy. I don't know. It's a cool game. I love the flexibility of it. I love the way you can just steal like quest items out of somebody's pocket instead of actually engaging them and then laugh when they're like, wait, I was going to give you this thing, but I don't seem to have this thing anymore. Where is it gone? I just think it's all very funny. I think it's all very, very, very funny.
Yeah.
It's got
Um,
me completely enthralled at this point.
like I would like to play Baldur's Gate because it seems because I've played other D&D style games before.
Yeah.
Um, Notably Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic because
Yeah,
they took Star Wars and D&D and they plugged them into each other
you
and
in
they
that
created
fucking game, bro.
it is amazing. It is a great game.
This motherfucker has played that game more hours than most people will ever invest into anything.
It is a great game. It is very replayable. It
You're
is
so
highly
weird.
enjoyable.
You're so weird. Can you do a Doctor Who run in that game?
What do you mean in Doctor Who?
So a Doctor Who run is where you only go through the game using the dialogue options, never killing anybody and only using tools.
Um, Technically no, because
It's an
you have
incomplete
to
game.
because you 1v1 the final boss.
Mm. Oh, but
So
you can get to the final boss without killing anybody.
yes, you
That's kind
theoretically
of
could.
crazy.
You theoretically could. You could have your there's one in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, there's one character where um he can never die.
Hmm.
He'll get knocked out, but then like 8 seconds later he'll get back up and start fighting again.
Hmm. Why is he invincible?
It's just one of his character perks. After however long of being down, he gets back up and just keeps fighting. So theoretically, yes, you could do that. Um, the My most recent run that I did on the game, I did a blasters only um, build
Okay, Han
because
Solo.
yeah, no, because like normally you get lightsabers
Uh huh.
and So I rushed a lightsaber just so all my other people could have lightsabers, but my main character had blasters. And now, you know,
Okay,
I'm gonna say that damage numbers are pretty comparable to Baldur's Gate because it's like it's
they
all
use
D and
the
D
same
style.
talenting
So
system. Yeah.
yeah, it's the attributes are it's all the same.
Right.
But no, with my blasters, I was doing 250 to 300 damage in a single round.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. So would
And
you
every single
say?
time I killed somebody, the round would reset. I'd immediately attack the next person.
Hmm. Would you say though? Was your character more like Han Solo, or more like that one little dude Frank from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the two handguns?
So I started blasting.
So I
Yeah, no,
started
definitely.
blasting.
Yeah, no, it's definitely definitely like Frank, because
Just a little guy just
well,
shooting guns as fast as he can.
I had feats attached to my character where I had no penalties for if someone was in melee range
Were
and I was using
were
guns.
they hairy feats or were they bare feats?
They were definitely the hairiest feats.
Oh, okay, okay. Just making
Um,
sure. Just making sure we're on the right page with the
but
feats.
yeah, so I had a bonus chance to hit if they were within melee range with blasters. On top of that, if I was fighting a Jedi, the Jedi had a -20 to deflect my blaster bullets.
Okay.
It's
All right.
insane. And and then on top of that, I had I think it was like a +24 to hit with my pistols.
Hmm.
So, each pistol hits 5 times. Um, you know, Massive criticals. It's just insane. It is absolutely it was a fun run. It was way too easy at a
Hmm.
certain point because I just optimized for damage output and just simply being unkillable. So I didn't have any strength on my character, but I maxed out dexterity and I maxed out constitution, and I just had enough wisdom to be able to make myself run really fast. So, and I just blew everything up.
Obvious drive-by jokes need to be kept out of this one. Character with blasters
Boom,
that can
blam,
run
blam, pew,
real
pew, pew, pew,
fast.
pew.
Oh no. On the topic of mythical creatures, what was one that you'd want to make a pet if you could have one?
Oof. It's any mythical creature.
Any mythical creature, not necessarily one that you've made up on your own, but one in lore
One
of
that's in
some
lore.
sort. One of them in
Honest,
lore at some point in history.
I think of the times I read Aragon, like Aragon and that series, and
Aw, you
part
gonna
of me
be a
says a
basic
dragon.
bitch and say a
No, no, no.
dragon?
But my actual answer is probably a
Ah,
phoenix.
a
No, my
phoenix.
actual answer is probably a phoenix.
Okay. How are you gonna keep your butthole from being lit up?
I don't know, just like burn cream or something. I have no
Burn,
idea.
burn cream. This motherfucker says burn cream. How's that gonna stop you from burning in the first place? That is first aid.
Hey, no, the phoenix
That
isn't
is what helps with
isn't
the.
perpetually on fire.
Could you just imagine you just leaving shit streaks down the back of a fucking phoenix as it lights your ass on fire and you're just like screaming on your way to the ground and the bird's like, man, I smell like literal burnt shit. Like you're a terrible fucking rider if you do that. Now, could you? I don't even know. Like, are there phoenixes that don't burn hot? I guess Lifebringer phoenixes, right?
Well, no, I mean if we're talking about like Harry Potter phoenixes, like Hogwarts, that
Okay,
universe.
yeah. I guess yeah, yeah. But you wouldn't be able to ride that. I guess you just if you just want a fucking Tweety bird
I mean,
for a
oh, okay,
phoenix.
is it have as a pet or is be able to ride?
I mean, if I have to have a phoenix, I want to ride that bitch. I want to take it to the fucking sun and die horribly. But like, I don't know. I just feel like having a dinky little fucking parrot for a phoenix is less exciting than a big old majestic fucking firebird. I mean, as
Well,
long as it
I'm
doesn't look like
okay.
Moltres, who might be one of the worst designed Pokemon ever. It literally looks like a featherless chicken with flames. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Absolutely, it does.
I'm gonna be
Um,
100% honest. That thing looks plucked as fuck.
okay, no, I mean, if it has to be rideable, if it has to be
It doesn't have
rideable,
to be rideable. I just feel like a small phoenix is less exciting than a big majestic flying bitch. That's all I'm trying to get
no,
at.
no, I was gonna say, like, if it's something I had to ride, I'd probably pick an unagi, like
What?
a mythical unagi.
Hold on. Inunagi. Don't even
Yeah,
explain it. I'm going to just look it up. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Inunagi?
yeah. Specifically, like, if you were to look it up from Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Images. Um, man, that doesn't look mythical at all. That looks like cooking. And it looks delicious. Unagi. I was like, unagi, that sounds like sushi. It is, in fact, sushi.
it is
It
sushi,
is, in fact,
but
Japanese food.
yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like the
Unagi
Avatar.
avatar?
Yeah,
Oh. So, big sea monster.
yeah, giant sea monster. You know how terrifying that would be? Scare the shit out of people.
Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. That'd be cool. Just come popping out of the fucking ocean. What's that, bitch? What did you say about my mama? Just fucking terrify the shit
I
out of
need about
everybody.
350.
There's
Damn
a
it, monster!
bot.
Get off my lawn!
Goodbye, bot. Goodbye. Can I can I ban it somehow? How do I ban this bot from here? Block. Hold on.
Banning the
Slash
bot.
ban enjoy. Yeah, it's a fucking sales bot trying to promote my channel. Like,
Would you
dude,
like to
I'll be
promote your
fine.
channel?
Like, yeah, dude, I'll be fine. Like, don't fucking worry about me. I'll get my name out there whenever I feel like it if I want to. But anyways, yeah, so mine, man, I've never really known what kind of mythical creature I want. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if I had a mythical creature for a pet, it'd be something like a hydra, you know? Some big old nasty bitch. Leave it as a guard dog. Not but
Yeah,
like
now
not
I'm
an
just thinking of
actual guard dog. Not Cerberus, because Cerberus is literally dogs, like multiple, and I can hardly handle having one dog in my life,
yeah, let alone one with 3 heads.
let alone one with 3 heads with different personalities. You know that, right? Cerberus does not have one personality. Cerberus has several.
Yes.
Like, could you imagine having to deal with two Cerberus heads that are sweet as fuck, and then a third Cerberus head that wants to bite you? Imagine it was the middle one. Every time you try to pet either of the fucking nice heads, the middle one tries to nip you.
Yeah.
Big bitch.
Now I'm just
Motherfucker.
thinking of like Heroes of Might and Magic creatures.
Oh shit. Now we getting into it, huh?
Cause like there's like because the most powerful one is the Archangel.
Right.
Because he can resurrect, any other troops. Then you
Sure.
have Archdevils. What's the second strongest? Second strongest, I think, is the Black Dragons. Um, so Black Dragons, Gold Dragons. You got Titans. Um, see, you have Ghost Dragons. There's a lot of dragons.
Yeah.
Um, then there's the Horn of the Abyss creatures, which I'm not familiar with those because I actually haven't been playing Horn of the Abyss. I should. I got stuck on the um I got stuck in the campaign because there's like one part of the campaign that is absolutely atrociously difficult. Um, Probably the most difficult level in all of the campaigns that exist in the
Mm-hmm.
game. Because you have a certain amount of time. You have like because each turn is 1 day and 4 weeks is a month, and you have 2 months to flag every single creature generation dwelling. But you also have people trying to kill you, so it's just a pain in the ass.
Right.
do it. Um, so yeah, but they have this gigantic sea monster. It's basically that unagi that I was talking about. That's what that is. Uh, what other? Oh, there's also behemoths. Behemoths are you know gnarly looking things that have gigantic claws and teeth and whatnot.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying. Um, they got hydras too. Yeah, I know. Although the silver pegasi are pretty neat because I think they're the fastest unit in the game outside of the expansions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's fun.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I'm just because there's a lot of really cool creatures. I play a lot of older games. I,
Yeah.
I like the older games, which tends to get me shit from a lot of people. Like people like to say, "Oh, get something, try something new. Stop being addicted to these older
Oh,
games."
dude, don't even get me started on that. Like when I was doing when I was focused like a lot on RPGs. Oh my god, I got so much shit from people that are like, "Why are you playing all these RPGs?" Because keep in mind that the game that got me big was probably Jump Force. That is probably the game that I got the biggest from. And man, I can only play so much fucking Jump Force, bro. There's only so much Jump Force I can play before you get tired of everybody playing nothing but the most overpowered fucking builds and characters they can remember. And man, I am good. I am so good on Jump Force for real. But like, you get shit for playing a lot of these games that you don't necessarily that people don't necessarily play anymore. Like I was getting crap uh when I was playing Final Fantasy. I was getting crap for playing Baldur's Gate from a few people. I was getting crap from this and that and everything in between. And it was just like, bro, I just want to play my games. Like, why is it gotta be fucking weird for you that I'm in here playing games that I want to fucking play? You know what I'm saying? With
Like
that in
I got
mind,
crap for playing the games that I want to play, and then I started, you know what? Fine, I'm gonna play Hogwarts Legacy, and then I was getting crap for playing Hogwarts Legacy, not for the obvious reasons, but for people were saying, oh, you're playing Hogwarts Legacy too much. Well, make up your damn mind. I want to play the game that I want to play.
were you streaming
So
Hogwarts Legacy?
I was not streaming Hogwarts
Oh,
Legacy.
okay,
My
okay.
computer could barely play it on low settings because I don't know what it was for that. Like I
That
don't know if
game's
it's just
heavy,
like there was
dude.
just that demanding, huh?
That game's heavy, dude. It's a
But
thick game.
it's a gorgeous game.
I know it's thick. That's what I'm saying. It's a
Yeah,
heavy game.
I had to like let it run for an hour before I could properly play it.
Miss Kate says I love Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I haven't actually gotten to play it yet. I was kind of hoping it drops down in price for the Christmas season. Then I'm planning to jump into it. But speaking of games, though, what would be your dream game? If you had a dream game, what would it consist of, and what would it allow you to do?
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 3.
God damn it!
It would be like Baldur's Gate 3, but with in the KOTOR universe and the continuation of the story that presently exists um going forward. Because there's like it was in the works, it was being made and then it got canceled.
Yeah.
So
Do you know why they canceled it, or was it just something that
I
just
don't know.
kind of
I have
fell
no
off out
idea.
of somewhere?
Well, it might have been funding. It might have been a lot of things, but you know, there's here's the thing. KOTOR has a very loyal fan base,
Yeah.
an extraordinarily loyal fan base.
Right.
So, and people have made offshoot. I think there's like one offshoot game that currently exists, and I think it's currently open world, but a Baldur's Gate style Knights of the Old Republic would be
That really allowed you to just
extraordinary.
kind of explore the world and different endings, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
Huh.
not like because here's the thing, SOTOR it's just trash. It's not good. It is not good.
Okay, to be fair, SWOTOR was good when SWOTOR came out. You've got to understand that in the world that game released in the world that game released in, because you're talking about the MMO, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the world that game released in, There was no like really really well made Star Wars MMO, and everybody was super freaking hyped for it. Honestly, like we were all living for that shit. And the thing is, I played it. I played it on release. I was a bounty hunter for the dark side. Like yeah, like I was working for the Empire, and man, when I tell you that the character for the bounty hunter at least was so dynamic, right? Because the bounty hunter isn't necessarily for the Empire, but the Empire has more money. So they're going to work for the biggest bidder, right? But the times throughout that game where I had to make like a decision on whether I was actually going to side with the dark or if I was going to side with the light, that game was incredible. I had a really good time with it until I maxed out. Once I reached the end game content, which like if your end game is bad in an MMO, the whole game is just bad. It doesn't matter how good the build up was. If the end game is bad, all of it's bad. Because for me with World of Warcraft at least, it's the exact opposite. I hate leveling in World of Warcraft. It is one of those things where like they released when they started selling instant max levels or instant to 60, between 60 and 70, things like that. When they started selling like power leveling kits that you could buy, I was like, man, you shouldn't do that shit. Now, what was my credit card number again? Like, because I didn't want to fucking play to level my characters. I fucking hated leveling. But the end game, bro, the end game of World of Warcraft back in like Wrath and Kata, oh my god, those fucking raids were tight. They were fun. They were precise. Like that's what made it good, even though the leveling process was dog do.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
think
that's the
that
issue
might be
that was the
I
issue
think
with
that might
Slow
be one of
Tour.
the reasons. Yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons why people didn't necessarily like or really like Star Wars, the second iteration of Knights of the Old Republic, because the end game was confusing.
Right,
Um, with like they have a whole mod. It's the restored content mod
right, right.
where um they uh uh they because the second game they left out a lot of stuff. They left out a bunch of stuff just because
Yeah.
they wanted to release it on a specific timetable. But the overall dialogue that the vanilla game came out with is still pretty much the same game.
Mm.
But the restored content mod added a little bit extra. But the overall core content in the game
Oh,
were,
oh,
if
you
you
just
weren't
blagged out a
following along
bunch.
closely, if you weren't paying attention, huh?
Hold on a second. You're lagging out like crazy. Give it about 5 seconds, then
Oh,
start from to the end game. That's where you cut out. So you're talking about the end
so
game.
yeah, so the end game, and so the end game, it was confusing if you weren't paying attention.
Okay.
It's one of the games where you have to pay attention
Yeah.
because there is a lot of dialogue, and it's so
Mm.
that's why it's like it's truly a build your own story kind of game, and you know the endings are like sure there are only two endings, but the process of getting to those endings is so rich. It's like it's super decadent. It's like a decadent chocolate cake. It is just extraordinarily dense.
But the journey was too
It's so
long for
cool.
these young OCD minds.
It's I wouldn't say that the journey was too long because you can finish the game relatively quickly,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not paying attention, you're just gonna sit there wondering what the hell happened.
Right. It's like playing Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
I'm still confused sometimes playing when I look back on
but
Kingdom Hearts.
people love Kingdom Hearts just because it's so flashy and cartoony.
That's true. Well, I mean, it's all that nostalgia and playing through like parts of the story of your childhood's like favorite fucking movies and shit.
Yeah,
So
it's
you
like,
can't blame
oh,
people
it's
for liking
Sephiroth.
it.
Oh, Mickey Mouse has a Keyblade.
Oh god, Sephiroth coming out was just one of those moments where I was like, "Oh, I'm fucked." Like he is not gonna make my life feel good. He's gonna ruin my insides. Oh,
and
Sephiroth,
and
why?
then it's like different with something like Warframe too, because like Warframe, if you actually pay attention, there's so much lore to it. There's an extraordinary amount of lore to
Yeah.
KOTOR and to Warframe.
On
But
the topic of MMOs though. On the topic of MMOs, sorry, I'm going to shift a little bit here. On the topic of MMOs, we all remember when Sword Art Online came out, right? We've all watched it. We've all watched Sword Art Online. Great anime
yes,
for the time. It got worse as it went on season to season, but at the time it was a really solid anime. So my question for you is, why would you totally be okay risking death to be a part of SAO of Sword Art Online? Like, be honest, you
why would
would.
I?
You would. You would.
I would.
I
I
fucking
would.
would. I fucking would. An MMO that I get to go in and essentially live a fucking flawless life fighting my way to victory all the time without having to pass any real life athletic checks. Like, hell yeah. Like, what the fuck? Tell me how good that would be for you. Tell me why you wouldn't even if that's somehow a thing.
I honestly, I would
Miss Kate
love it.
says
It's just
escapism is the truest form. Absolutely, 100%.
like as long as like I could infinitely scale, then yes.
Right.
Um,
Like if there's a
if
level
there's level
cap,
cap, then it's like, well, shit.
the risk of the level cap though. Admit it though. There's that part of you that's like the risk of the level cap. Like, fuck, I
Okay, if you
reached
hit the
level
level
cap and
cap
we're
and you're
still
at
having
floor
a hard
50 and you
time.
gotta get to floor 100, come on.
I'm just saying though, you reach level cap and the boss is still giving you a hard time, and you're like, fuck, it's a skill problem now.
And I can't leave.
I can't leave. I can't quit. I gotta actually win here. That's where you're one of the NPC players, one of the players that plays NPC style and just hangs out in the background all the time.
I just take a chicken with me and hope that they would all just gang up on the boss.
The chicken,
Yeah, like,
like
Legend of
cuckoos.
Zelda.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say
Cuckoos.
like cuckoos, cuckoos or whatever, however they're supposed to be fucking pronounced. God, could you imagine? Could you imagine beating an endgame boss with chickens? Didn't somebody
It'd be
do that?
hilarious.
Didn't
I
somebody do that in Breath of the Wild though? I swear to God,
maybe.
there might
I
be a
just remember
video
like
of it.
watching someone, build a B-50 like a not a B-52 bomber, but pretty much a B-52 bomber that literally just airstriked again and
Oh
you
yeah,
know
you're talking about in the new Breath of the Wild.
yeah, so it's like what are people doing? Or
Dude,
when they
I
put
love that
NPCs inside
shit.
of boxes and then the game doesn't know what to do with it, so it just flies off.
Dude, I love that shit. The way they've gotten so creative. Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't played Breath of the Wild 2 yet. It's on my list, but like also there may be like 60 other games on my list. Like I'm still pushing through all of Final Fantasy. And then Baldur's Gate has literally eaten my entire soul. But like when I look at the way that people have gotten crazy with Breath of the Wild Minecraft edition, and like people are making like mechazords and shit, and I'm just like, and of course you can't even be mad about the guys that made flame throwing penises. Like, I'm sorry, that's funny. Like, is
It
it
is funny.
immature? Is it immature as fuck? Yes. Is my podcast called Fecal Matters because I think I'm funny with my little pink butthole fucking banner? Yes. So I'm still laughing. I'm laughing all the way to the bank about penis flamethrowers on mechs. That shit is just, that shit is too legendary.
This has friggin' sharks with friggin' laser beams attached to their friggin' heads energy.
Yeah, absolutely. It has that old Austin Powers energy for sure. But like, I think that's what made it so good, and that's what kind of killed me watching it. Was just like, I mean, it was what 15 hours after the game was released. 15 hours the videos started coming out of people doing that, and like people being like, I wonder if Nintendo is gonna make people stop throwing cocks on their mechs. Like how are you supposed to enforce that without ruining the build system, right? Like fuck off. You're not
Well,
getting
like,
rid of the cocks on mechs. That's a thing now.
like
Oh
I
man.
just don't I don't appreciate video games trying to impose morals on their players. That's
Right.
something I heavily disagree with.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. No, it's too fun. But yeah, so sorry, digressing slightly back to the SAO thing. Miss Kate agrees with us that imposing their moral values on us is counteractive. Honestly, this is gonna sound crazy. I think SAO didn't go hard enough. I would totally want to live in that world. The freedom of being able to do all the cool shit and like learning how to combine different things to make different things come out of the game was really, really cool. But you know what? I'm gonna take it a step further. Would you risk it if it was the same environment as Elden Ring?
Oof. Oh,
Oh
only
man.
only if I can use the exploits.
Oh, absolutely. If you only have one life, you're exploiting the absolute loving shit out of that. There's no way. There's no way to survive
There's an
Elden Ring
exploit.
without exploits.
There is an exploit where you are literally invulnerable.
Is there?
Yes.
What's that one? I don't think I've ever seen that.
It's near the beginning where it's like you do something weird for like the initial cinematic.
Uh huh.
I'd have to look it up,
Okay, okay. No, I'll not
but
worry about it for now. But yeah, that's interesting.
you become invulnerable and you can just beat up whoever you want.
Right. Silly.
Granted, it's not the best way to go about it, but like
I mean, okay, but listen, better Elden Ring than Bloodborne.
yeah.
Literally, could you
And
imagine dying, like permanently dying to a fetus?
oh no, no.
To an angry, evil fetus. Permadeath. You're done. Game over. You fucking died.
Now you're just making me think of Resident Evil. The one giant baby.
Well, there is, though. In Bloodborne, there's a fetus monster. I didn't believe it, but a buddy of mine showed me. He's like, hey, you hear the baby crying? I was like, yeah. He says, it's a
Look,
fetus.
if I'm
No.
going out to weird grotesque monsters, it better be Lady Dimitrescu. She can have me all day.
Oh, Lady Democrats from the most recent
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil Village. Yeah, 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 yeah. Goddamn.
Big old
Goddamn,
Tommy
bro.
mommy.
Oh, fuck's sake. You just want to get stomped out by a 7 foot tall lady with big boobs. Is that
Yes.
how you want to go? Is that the way?
Yes.
You gonna have the fucking God, what was that meme not that long ago? I say not
Death
that
by
long ago
Snoo
like
Snoo.
I'm not old. Well, Death by Snoo Snoo is ancient. Death by Snoo Snoo is an ancient meme. She also says Death by Snoo Snoo. No, could you imagine though somebody leads you to your death, but the people leading you to your execution is the hedgehogs. God, what were they? What was that? Ugandan? Ugandan knuckles?
Oh, the echidnas.
Come now, it is time for you to die. I will show you the
You,
way.
you know the way. You know the way, my brother.
I will show you the way. Come on, it is death by Snoo Snoo for you. Sorry,
See, that's
audience.
a,
I think
he's
I'm
about to
funny.
be.
I think I'm funny. Before he must die, we must spit on him. My brothers, spit on him. Can you imagine though? Miss Kate says I
I
giggled. Thank you for
I just
humoring me.
remember listening to the remix. The Do you know the way? Do you know the way?
Oh God, no! Really? Somebody did that?
Yeah, there's teaching you how to Dougie, but it was Do you know the way?
Okay, you know what? You know what remix has been stuck in my head, and it's the stupidest fucking thing, and it's all because of a cat. It's all because of I saw the thing where this dude took a burger bun and sandwiched a cat's head in it, and the cat's just like bug-eyed looking out, like, "Why have you done this weird thing to me?" Right? And they paired it with that remix of the song da 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 da, and all they're saying is Whopper, 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 single, double, triple, Whopper, flame grilled flavor, lots of toppers. And I'm just like, that stupid song. I'll just be walking around in public and I'll be like, Whopper, 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 Whopper. Why am I singing this shit? Why is meme culture invading my very personal life at this point? Like, what the fuck, man? I'm out having
See,
a
the
nice.
one
I'm out having a nice dinner with my wife in front of normal people, and I'm out here Whopper, 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 like goddamn.
the one remix that's
Sorry,
been
Miss
stuck in my
Cakes.
head. One remix that's been stuck in my head is the this is not making a determination as to which side I'm on, but the is video of an Antifa rally. This guy comes up with a frying like the cast iron pan,
Oh
and
no!
just smacks two dudes in the face,
Oh no!
and
And
it makes dude. Dune, and someone
Oh
remixed it into
no.
Tokyo Drift.
No.
Pull it up put it up on the screen. Pull it up. You can
You
watch
got
it.
a do you have a link?
Hang on, let me get a link for you. One of the benefits to not being on camera is I can actually just send you stuff. Um,
Oh god. Yeah,
oh man,
just send it on Messenger and I'll pull it from there.
Antifa frying pan remix.
Miss Kate about what I was talking about with the Whopper song says I had been fortunate enough to forget that song. We have reinserted memes back
There you go.
into our viewers' head.
Sent it over Messenger.
Come on, man. Why do I get I'm gonna hate this.
It is great.
No. No, that was inappropriate.
It is fantastic. Amazingly timed.
Dun, 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 dun. I hate it. I'm so mad. That's wrong, bro. Shit. How'd you get banned on your first live on the first time running your podcast? Well, some Antifa guy got smacked in the head with a frying pan, and apparently that was too much. That was the one. That's the one that got me. Oh, fuck's sake. Even 3 years of streaming later, just seeing something like that and being like, oh man, can I get banned for this? And now there's the part where it's like, if I get banned for this, is it even worth streaming? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how I've gotten with streaming. I'm like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. If I get banned, I get banned. I'll fucking go to Kick, whatever. But I feel like speaking of the Kick and Twitch thing, Tom Clancy, I think his name's Tom Clancy, something Clan. What is his name? New Twitch CEO name. It's something Clancy. Dan Clancy. Dan Clancy. I like this guy so far. That's part of the reason I'm back on Twitch, because I'd been kind of mostly Kick and kind of in between the two for a while. But I'm really liking the efforts that Dan Clancy's making. Have you heard anything about it?
I have not heard anything at all. I was just about to ask you like what motivated you to move back to Twitch with with when it comes to this guy because from what I understanding, Twitch has always been
Cesspool of bullshit.
I was about to say a third world country shithole,
Yeah, not
but
so far different, really. Um, so Dan
you
Clancy,
know,
he's kind of ancient. If you guys haven't seen this dude, I'll pull it up on screen real quick. So this guy right here, this is Dan Clancy. Yeah. Oh God, get out of my face. Continue without disabling. So that's Dan Clancy. He's kind of ancient. Like, don't get the wrong idea. This dude's actually pretty chill. He actually live streams himself. Like, he's a musician, so he live streams and he does music and he visits with people and he talks about Twitch and he asks people what they're looking for out of the program. And that's why a lot of the changes that have been happening recently have been happening really fast. Is because he is in there and he's like, we need to remember that at the end of the day, if streamers are not happy, then we don't have a company. And like, his whole motivation is to bring streaming back to Twitch the way people enjoyed it, like where it was fun and it was relaxed and there wasn't so many bullshit little rules. And like, yeah, he's really making an effort to make Twitch feel like a home again, rather than this overseer that's watching your channel and making YouTube and Kick look like just the best opportunities ever. Because I mean, they literally at TwitchCon recently, Dan Clancy got on stage and said that it's no longer not allowed to simulcast, meaning that you can cast to as many platforms at the same time as you want. They do ask that you don't run like a mixed chat on your screen, which I will fully admit I'm guilty of because I use Restream for quite a while, for the last several months actually. But yeah, he's like, hey, I don't care. Like, if you do that, all we really ask is that you run your chats separate from each other, so that you're not getting mixed traffic in chat. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can be okay with that. I really can. I can be absolutely fine with that. So yeah, I mean, if I ever get big, maybe there's a future where I actually make good money off of this. That'd be kind of cool. But mostly, I'm here to just have fun and BS and kind of provide an interesting little place for people to come in and laugh and maybe be a little bit less, a little bit more really irreverent to everybody's day to day bullshit and just kind of be able to laugh a little at the world rather than being sucked into the garbage that it's become. But yeah, he's doing good things for the company. He's relaxing a lot of the rules. He's not running streamers over the way the previous CEOs were. I mean, fuck, Twitch has lost Amaranth and XQC to Kick, which is a big deal. Like, it may not seem like a big deal. That's a big deal. Those are
I don't know.
two really big streamers.
Envision losing Amaranth is a positive thing. Maybe not for the company, but for society as a whole, I would be okay with.
My thing is, you don't blame Jack Daniels for producing whiskey. You don't blame the alcoholics for Jack, or you don't blame Jack Daniels for the alcoholics just because they produce whiskey. At the end of the day, people are going to produce a product and people are going to consume it.
Absolutely.
Amaranth does not aggressively advertise her OnlyFriends content. It just happens that everybody's more than willing to accept that she does it and buy it anyways. You don't kill the vendor, you kill the people around it. If the vendor didn't,
Yeah,
if
no,
the vendor wasn't producing it, because here's the thing, you can say whatever you want about Amaranth. Amaranth was not the first OF girl. Amaranth is
I
not
know.
going to be the last OF girl. If Amaranth had never started doing OF, people would still be doing OF. And the funny
Yeah.
thing is, OF isn't the first person to do OF. Like, as a company, they're the biggest one. They've done the most marketing. They're really, really good at it. But before that, you had Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon. Then you had offshoots like Fansly and what's not, stuff
Oh
like
God!
that.
Before all of that, I
It,
think, because when I was younger and I was a more virulent young man, um, many vids was the thing. Many vids was
yeah,
huge. Many vids is still pretty big. It's just many vids never had the aggressive advertising that OnlyFans has. Like, OF really, really wants you to know they're there, and they go out of their way. They give all these streamers, they encourage these girls to run different Twitch and Kick streams. Like, it's OF that's the real issue. Because many vids, nah, you didn't know about many vids. Like, maybe a few of us actually knew about many vids because deep down we were little pervs and we were looking around for shit like that on the internet. But at the end of the day, many vids was not something that you came across by accident. You had to be looking for it. Like, you were out of your way
yeah.
trying to find that shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I'm okay with talking about this now because this was so long ago. But I just remember like the cursory, the initial searches for various adult content
Right,
growing
right,
up, and it's
right.
like the whole process of getting all that from my friends, like, don't go to this site, wink wink.
Oh, winkety wink wink. Yeah, right. No, and that's true too. Like, looking back, you know, one thing that I can definitely point out for our generations, yours and mine specifically, because you're only a couple years younger than me, but for our generations, when it came to adult content, it was taboo. And like, when I was younger, I kind of wished it wasn't, because I didn't like that it felt like I was doing something kind of a little sketch, maybe a little icky to the average person, looking up this stuff in my private time when nobody was around and whatever, right? Now I look back at it as an adult and I'm like, I kind of wish it was taboo. I kind of wish it was more taboo now, because it's not very taboo anymore. It's kind of like an accepted cultural phenomena that, yeah, people are going to be watching dirty shit on the internet. And as a matter of fact, why don't you produce the dirty shit? Put it on yourself. And like, there's some part of me that's like, I can appreciate the freedom that people have started like experiencing, like that sexual freedom and that ability to allow yourself certain amounts of sexual gratification. But there's that also that other part of me that's like, I feel like this is killing relationships. I feel like people, because it's so normalized now, I feel like people aren't focusing good enough on their partnerships anymore, and I feel like it's dangerous. Like, I'm not trying to get too based here because I'm really not a based person. Anybody that knows me for a long time can tell you I am very not based in a lot of my way of thinking, but I definitely I've seen the negative impact on couples that are sexually okay with things like adult content being a relevant part of their relationship. They never last. Like they really just don't. They don't last. And the reason is simple is that they're getting their gratification outside of their relationship no matter how you try to twist it. And because it's become okay, it ends up damaging the relationship because, well, you're not available right now, or even being told like, hey, I don't really want to. Why don't you just go, you know? And it's like, yeah, that's dangerous. I
Well,
kind of
there's
wish,
a big there's
yeah,
a big shift in there's particularly in like a lot of especially men's communities and men's spaces where
they're trying
there
to
is
like
a
get rid of it again.
well no not necessarily well yeah I mean yes because um pornography is not healthy for society as a whole.
You got to call it adult
But
content on
even
Twitch. Don't forget that.
oh well, adult content, spicy stuff.
That works too.
Um, yeah, so where the spicy stuff is not, it's not beneficial to society as a whole. But there's even a push for like not even for not even masturbating,
Right.
where which makes sense because like if you want to get your rocks off, go find somebody. Go talk to women. Go hang out with the people that go spend time with people. Go talk to people. Learn how to communicate with other people.
Well, and I feel like
And
that's harder than you're saying it though, because a lot of those people don't
but
want to talk to anybody either.
well, yeah, but it's all just a numbers game. It's just like selling hot dogs.
Really now? Okay, let's hear this analogy. I'm in.
Well, it's like you're selling wieners. It's like, hey, do you want a wiener?
Fuck off. That's there's no way. Bro, I've been out of the dating game for too long, but there's no fucking way that's a thing that works. There's no way that's a thing that you just do. You can't. No, you don't just walk up like, "Hey, girl, you want my wiener?" No way. No, no shot.
I mean, that's just
That's
that's
cap.
just, that's just because I sell wieners. Like, you know, in, I will say I have picked up women while working.
Okay, that's good.
So but it's just like granted, but like no matter how many it's a numbers game. You can talk to somebody, you can approach people and compliment them, and if it conversation goes from there, then great. If not, then well, you tried.
Right.
But it's all about it literally is. It's just eventually someone's going to say yes.
Eventually, somebody's gonna say yes. That's
And
you
that's
know
not meant
what?
that's not meant to like seem desperate or or anything like that, but like eventually you're gonna be at a point where the rejections don't matter anymore, and your mentality is, oh, it's just another rejection. That's fine. Let's go on to the next one. And you're gonna have a certain degree of confidence, and that's and you'll find somebody that will want to.
Okay, so like this isn't me trying to brag, but I don't know what that feels like. I really don't. I like rejection as a general rule. I don't really know what that feels like, not in the grand scheme of things. I've been with you're my real life best friends. You know me well enough. I've been with Courtney for a very long time. Like for most people we have watched more people's relationships end in the time we've been together than we have seen succeed. And we've always kind of prided ourselves on the fact that generally speaking, we can kind of work through most things and we communicate pretty well most of the time. So I don't really know what it feels like to be rejected because I've been in this relationship for so long. And even before this relationship, I was very good at picking up women. Don't ask me why because I could not tell you. I must have that fucking W Riz just fucking installed. But when I was younger, and I don't think I was much more attractive then. Fuck you. I mean, you knew me. I dated Kim, and then I was dating Ashley Hallbrook, and then I was dating Kim, not Kim, but not Kimberly. Who else was there? There's that one chick. I dated Lisa for a little while. I mean, you saw me succeed just again and again with women. So I don't know what that feels like. And again, not bragging. I don't know
Well,
what the
it's
dating
like,
landscape feels like because I haven't been in it since Tinder. And I still think Tinder was the big turning point. But
well, Tinder is garbage. It's
Tinder is
dog shit.
really, really
Tinder's
bad. But that's what I'm saying. I was dating and I ended up in a relationship before Tinder released. So for me, I don't know what that's like because I've had very great success with relationships. And I feel really bad when young men, especially, try to ask me how I found success. And I'm just like, I don't know. I was in line with
no,
broke.
it's
I was in
because you
line broke
had
and I just kind of picked this chick up. It just kind of happens
yeah,
for me.
you were talking you were talking to people,
Yeah. I don't
and
know.
that's what it is.
I've always had very positive interactions with women, and I don't know. I mean, shit. Even since I've been married, you've seen me with like talking with women, and my interactions with women universally pretty damn positive. I'm just
Yeah, but here's the
so
thing.
I don't know
You
what
are
it means
talking
to
with
be
women.
I get that. I'm just saying I don't know what it means to be rejected because that's not a thing I've ever dealt with.
What for women to say no
Right?
to you?
Yes. Genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's look, maybe you got that world class Riz. Maybe you got
Maybe.
that Rizzy Glizzy.
Just Rizzy Glizzy. Bro, my Glizzy ain't not got that Rizzy. I'll tell you what.
I know you flashed me with it once. It's
What the fuck, bro?
like a pool cue
Uh,
attached to a
and
doorknob.
wait, what? Stop.
Oh wait,
That's huge. That's terrifying. That's not even like that. Anyways, Miss Kate says it does take a degree of logic to not let rejection bring you down in her experience. Yeah, I would agree with that. Understanding that maybe somebody's a bad fit, or the thing is that I've always told people, I'm like, if somebody would reject you outright, they don't know what they want either, and it might be less valuable to even pursue that conversation with somebody like that in the first place either. I don't know. I have a hard time helping with people with dating these days. It's really funny because I'm really good at helping people in relationships. Because again, I've been in my relationship for so long, right? I'm really good at helping people in relationships, but helping them find relationships, I'm like, I don't know. Back in my day, you just talk to people, and if they thought you were cute and they liked you and you could make them laugh, good job. You've got a dinner date sometime down the week. Like
and that's I think that's I don't know. I'm curious about your perspective. How perplexing do you find it that I'm still single after trying for so long? And
in your case,
yes,
it's
I
really
know. I know I'm an asshole.
it's
I
not
know I
just that
have
you're
I have a flaws.
it's not just that
I
you're
have
an
a significant
asshole.
amount of flaws.
It's not just that you're an asshole, but you're not a bad looking dude. Like you're a decent looking guy. There's nothing about you from a physicalities respect that should be fucking you over in that department. But what I find really vexing is that the women that you would probably do well with are also the same women that want to talk for 3 months at a time. And as somebody that knows you, like you and I can talk like this. Guys, this is a real perspective on this man in real life. He and I can talk like this for a couple hours at a time, no problem. But I swear to God, you introduce this man to a stranger, and 5 minutes in, he's said something that was so inappropriate that they can't even fucking have a conversation after that. And it's not because he's an asshole. It's because he kind of tries to get in the flow of it and he tries to be funny. And sometimes he just completely misses the mark and hits something inappropriate. And it's like, ooh, like I've been hanging out with him before where that's happened. And I'm like, I feel the mood die immediately. And it's like, that's bad.
And
Oh,
that's
that's
something
real
I'm
bad.
working on. That's something I am working on.
Yeah. And I mean, filter failures, dude. Filter failures is a nice way of putting it. Yeah. Because
So
it doesn't help that he's been
yeah,
dealing with
because
me for years. I also have filter failure issues. I'm just really good at delivering. My filter is always on low, but I'm really good at delivering delivering my words in a way that generally make the mood light.
Also, power just came back on.
Oh,
Let me
nice.
let me see if I can get my camera up and working.
Oh, fuck's sake. Go ahead, try it.
Well, no, I mean, and the camera works just fine. It's just just gotta get my computer all set up.
Yeah, you got to get your internet going, switch back
But
to.
yeah, no, everything's still gonna be. Um,
I like how
you
you
know,
managed to get that up 15 minutes before the cast is supposed to end.
I know, right?
Oh, God, it's so green.
Funny how that works.
Are you using the front side camera again?
Yeah, right now I'm using the front side camera.
You son of a bitch, fix it.
Computer. Oh, okay, my bad.
Hey, it's almost working. Now, if you can just get your bathroom out of frame, that'd be great.
Huh?
Your whole bathroom is in frame. You're not even on your green screen. There we go. We can take down the technical issue. Oh, now I've got your door. I just want your hot dog cart, man. I just want your hot dog cart. Is that so hard to ask? Yeah,
You want my hot dog cart?
God damn it. So, Miss Kate, I would love to ask about you since you were hanging out in the chat. Giggling too much right now. Congratulations. I'm glad you're enjoying the cast. Welcome to Fecal Matters, a podcast where we talk about dumb shit. How long have you been sitting in the cast? I know it's been at least for the last 45 minutes. Did you manage to catch the beginning?
For most of it.
Oh, yeah. I kind of noticed her in the menu early, but I wasn't sure if she was real or another bot at first, because God knows the names are getting much closer to reality all the time. Oh, is Miss Kate somebody that's a friend of yours that you'd mentioned?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, good. I hope you're enjoying the cast.
Talking to her on Whisper, had some conversations with her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. God, your camera is still off center.
Oh, hang on. Let me see if I can fix it. Does that work?
Oh, goddamn. This is pretty good, honestly. I worked, so a little background on me, Miss Kate. I have actually been streaming video games for about 3 years. And one of the things I noticed is from asking various viewers is I asked them, I was like, what is it that draws you to my stream? And they said, the reason I like your stream is because everybody else is on here being fake as shit the whole time. And even when you think it's going to insult somebody, you actually just speak your mind like a normal human being. And it's nice and it's gratifying for them to speak to somebody on the internet that's not acting the fool. And I'm like, I can appreciate that. Okay, thank you. So yeah, that's kind of the whole play here. Is I also got really tired of like playing video games when I was streaming, and that was it. So yeah, I'm hoping this is something that ends up taking off. Fecal Matters has kind of been a running joke and theory for a podcast for about 2 or 3 years now. How many years have I been talking about Fecal Matters? About 2 years, right?
We've been talking. I think you've been talking about it before we moved here into this house.
Yeah, I've been joking. I was like, talk Fecal Matters,
right?
A show where we talk about dumb shit.
Well, this actually might be a moot point because I don't know if my internet's back yet.
Oh, funny. It's not really a moot point because your camera's working. Instead of just using a tech issues fucking thing on there. But yeah. No, I'm glad you're enjoying them, Miss Kate. Yeah, don't bother looking at all my old content. There's no point to it. It's all just Baldur's Gate videos for like the last month. Fuck's sake. I was going to do Super Mario RPG, and then Baldur's Gate is just holding my hand too much. I can't. There's no time. Did the Super Mario RPG remake already drop?
Not sure.
Which one? Baldur's Gate?
Huh?
Miss Kate, was asking. Baldur's Gate, is that what you're talking about? Or the Super Mario? Yeah, okay. Dude, I don't blame you. It's absolutely delicious. And Asterion, give Asterion a chance. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. Give Asterion a chance. Asterion's got some fucking issues, let me tell you. So yeah. Well, my script is pretty much empty, Skittles. You want to riz him so badly? Well, right now, so we had a few topics left. I kind of skipped out on what it's like to live in a desert state that most of the country thinks is forest.
Well, it's dry.
Yeah, it's weirdly dry. So for knowledge purposes, Miss Kate, I live in Tri Cities, Washington, which as soon as you hear Washington State, everyone's like, "Oh, it's so beautiful. Doesn't it rain there all the time? Isn't that just a big forest?" And I'm like,
No.
"I live on a cracker. This bitch is just a big flat fucking desert with vines growing out of it for grapes." And that's not a lie. It's a fucking desert here. This whole fucking place is just a barren wasteland. It's some bullshit. It's some actual bullshit living here. That is actual facts. But yeah, a lot of people like honestly think that there's nothing but trees. Like, yes, there's trees once you pass. So if this is Washington, right? This is the whole state right here, right? This is the side I'm on, and right up till about here, it's all desert. So about a little over a third of the state. And then after that, it's just fucking mountains and forest and beauty, and it's so good. It's so good on that side. The problem is that side also comes with some really heinous big city politics that ruin everything.
Yep.
You're from Cali originally? Nice. When you are you living in Texas at this point? He said Whisper, so I have to assume you're within some sort of proximity.
No.
No? Illinois?
It was on the
Oh,
anywhere.
Illinois is cool. Oh, you found her on
It
the
was in recent
Illinois is
whispers,
cool though.
not the
Honestly,
proximity.
it depends on where in Illinois. I went to when I was in the Navy. I went to Great Lakes, Illinois, was where my basic was. So that was a fun basic. Well, Scott, we made it to 1 hour and 51 minutes.
Nice.
Skittles, we did it. We did a podcast.
You did it.
I have to cut the end of this podcast off a little bit, but we did a podcast. I'm pretty proud of us.
We did do a podcast.
It was a good podcast. It was a good podcast. I liked it. It was fun.
When are we doing the next podcast?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
I can only really afford to do one of these a week.
Well, one day a week.
And you can only afford to do it on nights that hate me, so I can't do Wednesdays once we're working.
I don't work.
Yeah, I can't do Wednesdays when we're working because Courtney has Wednesdays off, so she'll always want to spend time on me. With me.
Yeah, I normally can't do Wednesdays either. Tonight being an exception just because I don't want to sell wieners in the rain.
Yeah, I'd imagine hot wet wieners isn't really. Nope, no, wet wieners sounds like a good thing though.
Sounds like it'd be a good idea to get my wiener wet. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, that's not the way to get your wiener wet, especially when your wiener is actually a hot dog.
Yes.
Nobody wants extra. Nobody wants extra moist buns and wiener. Also sounds like a good time. This isn't going well. This whole saying wiener and buns doesn't work with this context because
my favorite item on the menu. It's called the raw dog.
Oh god damn it!
It's a plain wiener in the bun.
Why? I love that you called it that, but holy fuck! How does nobody giving you hell for that? Like I just can't.
Nobody's giving me help for it.
I just imagine some conservative ass grandma walking up like, "That is inappropriate, young man."
I have a T-shirt.
Give me the raw dog.
Raw dog on the Coney cart.
I got raw dogged at the Coney cart. Oh, Jesus Christ! Is there a merch store for this? What's the link?
Yes.
What's the link to the merch store?
Well, I can give you my social handle, which has a link tree attached to it. But yeah, so it's
so is it on
TX on Instagram?
I'm not going to Instagram on my PC.
Okay, well.
Coney
but anyway,
cart.
the link tree has my merch on it. We can probably figure out getting that all set up here next week.
Does Facebook have it?
I can't access Facebook right now. My internet's not working.
That's not what I was saying. I'm on your fucking page. Does it have your merch?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna look at my beautiful face.
I don't want to look at your beautiful face. It's terrible.
Let's do. Here.
Go over here. You know, the earlier between yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I sat there eating cookies right in front of this man while we were doing the.
He tormented
getting
me
prepping for this training.
by making me listen to him crunch cookies. Hey, I know this is you.
I need to
Here
add
we
it.
go. I know this is you because it's your page.
There we go. I gotta add this to my.
Look at this fucking
Facebook
monstrosity. Page. I'd eat it.
Which one are you looking at?
The one with the pretzel pub dog.
Oh yeah.
Why is there a unicorn duck in the back? What the fuck?
Huh?
Why is there a unicorn duck in the back, and why?
His name's Larry, and we don't talk about it.
Coney Cart TX. As I say, I can't open my Instagram. Not on stream. Mm-mm.
Why? Is it because you have
Because e-girls, man.
I know. You love those e-girls.
Everybody
e-girls
loves
ruining
e-girls.
Your life yet?
Everybody loves e-girls. Girls love e-girls. They just get mad that their boyfriends look at those e-girls. Everybody loves e-girls. I don't care what anyone says.
Everybody does love e-girls. For sure.
He's a member of the Hot Wiener Club, the Coney Cart. Or Coney's Corner. I got raw dogged at the Coney Corner. No! Why is this image so low res, though? You need to tell your distributor to fix that image. I love that it comes in other colors. I like it. Ooh.
That's the image.
Why is it not mustard yellow? It needs to be mustard yellow.
You can get it mustard yellow.
No, it's light yellow. I need it mustard yellow. It's got to be a little bit golden. Put my wiener in your mouth.
Yes.
These are inappropriate. I love it. I love everything.
There's two of them that
this.
are appropriate.
And I don't care about them.
Look, I'm just saying the one graffiti one is actually pretty cool.
The not safe for work stuff sells too, though? Absolutely it does. It absolutely does. Why does it constantly load like low res images? Yeah, this one's kind of cool. In the
so
gray.
David, when are you going to become a member of the Hot Wiener Club?
Bro, I don't live in Texas. How am I supposed to do that?
You just buy the shirt and they'll send it to you.
That sounds like me buying a shirt for a card I've never been to, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, do you have a hot wiener or not?
That got weird. That got weird all over again.
I love making it weird.
Oh boy.
It's my specialty.
You're stupid. All right. Guys, as we say here at JLock TV, I know time is money. I appreciate that you spent yours with me. We are coming to the end of the first official Fecal Matters podcast. Thank you so much for coming here and talking about dumb shit with the rest of us. We will be back on again next Tuesday. Be sure to come by my channel. That is obviously JLock TV on YouTube, where I'll be posting the full length of this feature. You can also find me at JLock TV on Kick, and you can follow me on TikTok as well, although my TikTok channel needs to be completely rebuilt. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I will be adding in a bonus frame at the end of the YouTube video with all the socials attached if you decide to come and find me that way. Scott, why don't you go ahead and give your own sign off? What do you want them to know about you before we leave for the evening?
Eat wieners, put them in your mouth, order a t-shirt, and come visit me if you get the chance.
Well, why don't you tell them where they could find you?
Coney
Cart TX on Instagram. Okay. You mean Coney Corner?
Look up the Coney, the Coney Cart on Facebook. It's just going to have a big old wiener on there.
Well, buddy,
I am on Twitter.
There is a Coney. There is a Coney Cart. There's a Coney Cart, and then there is a Coney Corner, which is yours.
Yeah, the Coney Corner is the business name. Coney Cart is the cart itself.
Okay. I was gonna say I found Coney Cart in Illinois.
Big brain moves. I mean, probably not that big brain.
It's not very big brain. It's not very big brain, brother. Yeah, be sure to visit You're usually outside of Pogue Mahone's in DFW. So feel free to visit him at Pogue Mahone's
Fort Worth, right
at
off
Fort
7th
Worth.
Street behind that Velvet Taco.
Right next to
That
the
is
Velvet
not
Taco.
An innuendo, that is literally what the restaurant's called.
God, but I do love the innuendo. Guys, thank you again. And once again, I appreciate you. Time is money. I know you spent yours with me. I will see you guys coming up on this next podcast on next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Be sure again to visit our socials. And you guys have a great night.